What's up YouTube? I'm Rahul from Project Sunrise Cycling. I've learned a lot of things over the last couple of years about cycling and building bikes, and I'm going to be creating some bite-sized videos to share with you my top tips of things that I've learned along the way. Roll VT. Right, let's get into it. So today I want to share with you my top tips for things to have in your cupboard if you're a cyclist or you do any kind of your own bike maintenance. Guys, my top tip number one is to buy a good multi-purpose grease if you're doing any kind of bike maintenance or bike building. I think it's really important to grease your nuts well. Whether it's removing a bottle cage and swapping it over or adding in a front or rear derailleur, a grease nut is a lot easier to remove. It stops water getting in and it means that your bolts are less likely to corrode and cause damage to your bike. So greasing your nuts well, massively important. So my next top tip is carbon fiber gripper paste. Now, anyone who rides a carbon bike like this one here that I built myself will know that carbon can be quite smooth. And one of the issues you often get is seat post slippage. So that's where the seat post here and the clamp just don't quite adhere tightly enough and your seat post slips down mid-ride, and that can be incredibly frustrating. So carbon fiber gripper paste has micro fragments within it, which just increases the friction between the two surfaces of the seat post clamp and the seat post, and it'll just prevent that annoying slippage. The other place I've used it is installing a press fit bottom bracket. So again, just increasing the friction and the adherence of the components. Top tip number 3 is extreme thread locker. One of the issues I've had with my carbon bike is because it's very stiff, I sometimes get bolts wiggle loose when I'm riding. Now, it's not really a safety thing. They tend to wiggle loose over time and not so much that it's a real problem. But it can be annoying, you know, again, having to stop mid-ride just to tighten bolts can be frustrating. And thread locker is something that I found resolves the issue. There's two types of thread locker, a blue, which is semi-permanent, and a red one, which is permanent. If it's for your bike, I'd stay well away from the red one. The blue one, if you can imagine kind of a candle wax, it goes on like a liquid onto the bolt as you kind of tighten it. And then it hardens, so it forms a seal, which means that the bolt can't wiggle, but it's not permanent when you use the blue one, which means that just a little bit of strength and it'll remove the bolt when you need to take it off. So that's my top tip number 3. Right, top tip number 3 is a decent quality degreaser. So when you get bits of grit and grime in your mech and your chain, all those bits can cause unnecessary wear. It wears your components out, makes them not last as long. And also, it'll mean that, for example, on your rear mech, your shifting might not be as crisp, your chain might slip, lots of different things like that. So if you want your bike to last longer and work better, then it's really important that you clean it. Using a decent degreaser just makes it really easy. You know, sometimes they come in high pressure cans and it means that you don't even have to do that much scrubbing. It just removes that excess grease, dirt, grime, and just keeps everything clean and running smoothly. So definitely recommend a decent degreaser, and definitely recommend cleaning your bike probably more often than you actually do. So the final thing I recommend that you keep in your cupboard is a bike protection spray. And here I've got one from Muck Off, and I've got one here from Sprayed Up Bike. The first thing I want to say about those sprays is they smell unreal. And not that I recommend inhaling them, but I think you probably know what I mean if you've used one before. So I've got a couple of different ones that I use. The main point is that it just provides a coating on your bike, which means they're just easier to clean. Dirt, grime, grease doesn't adhere to it as easily. You might sometimes get away with just giving your bike a hose down without any scrubbing or cleaning. It just makes it a lot easier to keep on top of your bike, maintain it, and prevent all that kind of build-up of dirt and grime, which then is going to need a more intense clean. So definitely recommend investing in one of those. not least for the way they smell. So if you've enjoyed that video, then please hit the like button and do click subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And in the meantime, follow me at Project Sunrise Cycling on Instagram for absolute road bike porn and all things cycling. Until next time, thanks for watching.